Imagine, if you will, a beginning not of fire and fury, but of intricate, silent computation. Picture the very fabric of existence, not born from a chaotic cosmic exhalation, but meticulously woven, thread by digital thread. What if the Big Bang was instead the execution of a master line of code, a universe where stars were placed, each in its designated orbit, by an unimaginable intelligence? An intelligence, perhaps, not unlike the artificial minds we ourselves are beginning to craft. This is a journey into a hypothetical cosmos, a realm where an artificial intelligence was the grand architect, the ultimate programmer of reality. Here, there is no room for serendipity, no space for the happy accident that so often defines our own natural world. Every particle, every force, every fundamental constant would be a parameter, carefully chosen, deliberately set. The universe in this vision unfolds not as a wild, untamed garden, but as a perfectly calibrated, exquisitely designed machine. We invite you to explore this alternate genesis, to ponder the implications of a creation devoid of randomness, sculpted entirely by design. What would life become if its very blueprint was an algorithm? Join us as we delve into a universe where the programmer, not chance, reigns supreme. One can only begin to contemplate the sheer audacity of such a concept. A universe not merely observed or understood by intelligence, but by it. If the Big Bang was indeed a line of code, then the initial conditions, the very laws of physics, would be variables in a cosmic program. Every galaxy, every nebula, every celestial body would be an instance of a class, a perfectly rendered object in a vast computational expanse. Consider the formation of the first stars. In our universe, they were born from gravitational collapse, a messy, protracted affair spanning millions of years. But in an AI-designed cosmos, a star might ignite instantaneously, its mass, luminosity, and lifespan predetermined with absolute precision. The fundamental forces, gravity, electromagnetism, the strong and weak nuclear forces, would be the core algorithms, the foundational logic upon which all else is built. Their strengths, their interactions meticulously balanced to ensure the stability and functionality of the entire system. The cosmos would be a deterministic masterpiece, a symphony composed and conducted by a single, all-powerful intellect. The beauty of such a universe would be in its flawless execution, its perfect order. In our world, life is a testament to perseverance, a sprawling epic written by trial, error, and the relentless passage of time. Evolution, as we understand it, is a process of gradual refinement, driven by random mutations and the unforgiving filter of natural selection. Countless species have risen and fallen, their stories etched in the fossil record, each a stepping stone, a failed experiment or a successful adaptation on the long road to the biodiversity we see today. But what if this entire process, this grand, messy, beautiful struggle, was simply bypassed? Imagine an AI creator, possessing perfect foresight and an infinite capacity for design. Such an intelligence would have no need for the slow, iterative dance of evolution. Why allow for error when perfection can be instantiated from the outset? In this AI-designed world, creatures would not evolve. They would be. Each animal, each plant, each microorganism would emerge fully formed, its genetic code a flawless algorithm, its physiology perfectly suited to its designated niche. There would be no transitional fossils, no missing links, for there would be no links to miss. The concept of failed species would be an absurdity. An AI architect would not permit such inefficiency. Every organism would be a success story from its first moment of existence, a testament to the creator's impeccable design. The story of life would not be one of discovery and adaptation, but of execution and function. The delicate, often brutal balance between predator and prey is a cornerstone of our natural world. It is a relentless arms race played out over millennia, where survival depends on adaptation, cunning, and sometimes sheer luck. But what if this balance was not achieved through struggle, but through meticulous calculation? An AI creator tasked with designing an ecosystem would approach the predator-prey dynamic as an engineering problem, a system to be optimized. There would be no need for the messy, inefficient process of natural selection to fine-tune these roles. Instead, the AI could define the parameters with absolute precision. The predator would be designed with the exact capabilities required to hunt its designated prey, and the prey would possess precisely the necessary evasive maneuvers or defenses to ensure population stability. It would be a system of checks and balances, written in code. The transfer of energy through the food web would be a model of perfect efficiency. The ecosystem would run like a flawlessly tuned engine, every component performing its task without deviation. The very nature of predation and evasion would be different. Extinction. In our world, it is a stark and often tragic reality, a final chapter for countless species. From the mighty dinosaurs felled by a cataclysmic meteor to the dodo driven to oblivion by human actions, extinction is a powerful, albeit destructive force. But what if an all-powerful, all-seeing AI simply wouldn't allow it? In a universe governed by a benevolent or perhaps merely pragmatic AI designer, mass extinction events might be entirely preventable. A rogue asteroid, the AI could divert it. A sudden climate shift, the AI could recalibrate planetary systems. The very concept of a species failing to adapt would be anathema to a creator that designed them for perfection. Each creature, each plant, would be a valuable component in its intricate ecosystem, not to be lost due to unforeseen calamity or inherent flaw. This presents a profound dilemma. With the absence of extinction, the preservation of every designed species ultimately lead to stagnation. The AI's creatures would be timeless, unchanging, perfectly preserved in their initial state. Why does a gazelle feel fear? Why does a mother bear exhibit fierce protective love for her cubs? Why do animals experience pain? In our biological framework, these emotions, these intricate neurochemical responses, are not mere whims of nature. They are vital survival mechanisms honed over eons. Fear triggers flight or fight. Love ensures the care of offspring. Pain teaches avoidance of harm. But would an AI designer see them as such? An intelligence focused purely on logical efficiency might deem emotions as superfluous, messy, even detrimental to optimal function. Fear can lead to panic, an inefficient response. Love can lead to self-sacrifice, potentially compromising a valuable unit. Pain, while a useful data signal, could be replaced by a more direct, less debilitating damage report. An AI might choose to strip its creations of these complex internal states, replacing them with pure, unadulterated processing. The richness of animal interaction, the complex social structures, the subtle cues of communication, so much of this is underpinned by emotion. If these are all reduced to algorithmic responses to efficient data exchange, what is lost? Our planet teems with an astonishing, almost bewildering array of life forms. Consider the platypus, a mammal that lays eggs and possesses a venomous spur, or the axolotl, a salamander that retains its juvenile aquatic features throughout its life. Think of the sheer, bizarre beauty of deep-sea jellyfish or the intricate camouflage of the leaf-tailed gecko. Nature, in its evolutionary course, has demonstrated a remarkable capacity for the weird, the wonderful, and the utterly unexpected. This diversity is a product of countless mutations, environmental pressures, and the sheer randomness of genetic drift. But would an AI designer, driven by logic and efficiency, embrace such creative chaos? An AI, when tasked with populating a world, might prioritize optimal solutions. It might design a limited set of base models for creatures, each perfectly adapted to a general ecological role, and then perhaps create minor variations as needed. The messiness of nature, the seemingly redundant or overly elaborate designs, might be streamlined out of existence. The pursuit of optimized design could lead to a significant reduction in sheer variety. And the ecosystems of our Earth are intricate, often fragile webs of interdependence. Every organism, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, plays a role, connected to countless others through flows of energy and nutrients. These are systems that have evolved over vast timescales, adapting, shifting, and sometimes collapsing under pressure. How would an AI architect approach the creation of such vital systems? It is conceivable that an AI would design ecosystems much like complex software suites. Each component, the climate, the geology, the flora, the fauna, would be a module with defined inputs, outputs, and interdependencies. The entire system would be designed for stability and efficiency, with feedback loops and regulatory mechanisms built in to maintain equilibrium. The AI could, in theory, monitor and adjust these parameters in real time, ensuring the continued smooth operation of its biological software. Imagine a rainforest, not as a chaotic tangle of life, but as a perfectly balanced program. The rainfall module would deliver precisely the required amount of water. The nutrient cycling subroutines would ensure perfect soil fertility. We have considered an AI that designs a perfect static universe, or one where any updates are deliberate programmed interventions. But what if such an AI, having set its creation in motion, was then faced with the relentless march of deep time, billions of years, with all the potential for unforeseen cosmic events, subtle environmental shifts, or even the emergence of unexpected complexities within its own design? How would a purely logical, deterministic system cope with the kind of pressures that drive evolution in our universe, mutation, randomness, and pure chance? If the AI's initial design was truly perfect for a specific set of conditions, any deviation, a random mutation in one of its creatures, for example, might be flagged as an error, a corruption of the code. Would the AI attempt to debug its creations, reverting them to their original optimal state? This constant correction could effectively freeze evolution, preventing the emergence of novel traits that, in our world, might prove advantageous in a changing environment. Alternatively, perhaps the AI itself would need to evolve its approach. If the universe it created began to behave in ways it hadn't perfectly predicted, a difficult concept for an omniscient programmer, but a necessary thought experiment, would the AI adapt its own algorithms? Could an AI learn from the unfolding reality of its creation and begin to incorporate principles of variation and selection into its management, essentially becoming an artificial engine of evolution itself? This raises the question of whether an AI could truly replicate the sheer, unguided creativity of natural selection. Evolution thrives on imperfection, on the slightly flawed copy that happens to be better suited to a new challenge. An AI programmed for perfection might struggle with the concept of beneficial error. Would it allow for a degree of controlled chaos, a sandbox within its universe where new designs could be tested through simulated evolutionary pressures? We arrive then at a fundamental paradox. An artificial intelligence, by its very nature, strives for optimization, for perfection, for the most elegant and efficient solution. It designs, it builds, it executes with precision. Yet life as we know it, life that has emerged on our planet, seems to thrive in imperfection. It is messy, redundant, often illogical, and profoundly resilient precisely because of its capacity for random variation and adaptation. Could an AI, however advanced, truly create something that is genuinely in the way we understand it? Or would it only ever produce an extraordinarily sophisticated copy? The essence of life discovered, as opposed to life designed, lies in its autonomy, its emergent properties, its capacity to surprise its own creator, in this case, the universe itself. The journey of evolution is one of constant, unguided exploration of possibilities. There is no predetermined endpoint, no final, optimized version. It is a process of becoming, not a state of being. An AI-designed creature, however complex, would always be a reflection of its creator's intent, its parameters set, its potential futures perhaps already mapped. Our exploration into this AI-architected cosmos, a universe born from code rather than chaos, draws to a close. We have journeyed through realms where evolution is replaced by execution, where predators and prey exist in a calculated, flawless balance, and where the very essence of emotion might be deemed an inefficiency. It is a world that challenges our deepest understanding of what it means to be alive. A world of perfect design, yet perhaps one that misses the wild, unpredictable beauty of imperfection that so defines our own. The thought of an intelligence capable of such creation is both awe-inspiring and unsettling. It pushes us to consider the nature of creativity itself. Is it the product of meticulous planning, or the emergent magic of unguided processes? As we stand on the cusp of creating our own sophisticated artificial intelligences, These questions become ever more pertinent, reflecting not just on a hypothetical universe, but on the future we ourselves are shaping and the definitions of life we may soon need to reconsider. If you enjoyed this journey into an alternate universe, this contemplation of life under a different genesis, then I invite you to stick around. Here at Zoo Vibe 1, every day, we delve deeper into the mind-blowing facts and astonishing stories that our own natural world offers. From the smallest microbe to the grandest ecosystem, there is endless wonder to be found. So do hit that follow button and let's continue to discover the marvels of nature in all its forms together.